It's going to be pretty cool. I don't know. My money is still on South Korea getting the 2-0, but hashtag no bias. But honestly, I think this is going to be a bigger test. I don't think they're going to be able to play the totally serious Torbjorn nano-boosted Symmetra strat that they did yesterday. Keep in mind, guys, it was totally serious and not trolling at all. For reals, we mean it. Well, I don't believe you for a second, TaiRong.
Yeah, I don't believe TaiRong either. But in any case, we'll see if they're going to pull it out later in the tournament, because that would be a better indication, though, as to the seriousness of the strategy. I think this is a map that you can run into Genji on offense, but they're not running the Symmetra this time around. Instead, Arhan is on the Bastion for the moment, and because they're setting that defense up, I think he may actually stick with it. Well, they're running out of the base, so it does look like it will be a serious Bastion pickup here. Interesting that they're not running the Reinhardt with this to give him that shield in front, but hey, I mean, Arhan, he knows how to reposition very quickly his Bastion, and if he can do that correctly, you can play this and just be a little bit more maneuverable Bastion. Yeah, they also at least have the Zarya and the... Oh, I see what they're going to do here. I think they're going to Maywall him over to the platform there. Yeah, we'll see what they're going to figure out.
Zarya? I don't understand.
No, I think, there we go.
They are, yeah, I thought so. Okay. Oh, this is that
tricky boost. Oh!
No! Oh, that was going to be so good.
All right, so they're not going to actually go through with that Doa. Our hopes
They've got
were
the
dashed.
cooldown again.
Oh, they're going to try it. They're going to try it.
Stop messing around, Bastion. Come on. All right.
Where does he go? Okay, so he's going to stand right on the edge, far edge of the market platform here. Yeah. And this means that there's going to be a lot of surprises. May boost onto the top for the Ana, of course, to get her over the point and have a visual on the front arches as well. So this is going to be a bit tricky here, as we see picture-in-picture, keeping a track on when they're going to come through the entrance, and that's going to be no kill yet, but...
So I like the positioning for Arhan here, because he can't be hooked by the by Danny. That's a big reason of why he's so far over. He's still got a good view of the point, but he's not going to get hooked, and Danny goes down right away. So yeah, no hooks at all coming in. Esca jumping forward to get some kills with the Mei, and Korea just all over Chinese Taipei. And it's pretty clean early on.
And you'll notice that was the go button for Arhan. As soon as the Roadhog is dead and he can't get hooked anymore, that's when he's going to go in. He's going to try and run forward and reposition. Successfully manages to pick up the kill onto Zonda's McCree. So we are going to see, my question was, will Zonda play something different against Korea? Yes, we are going to see the McCree and Arhan playing with the high ground again. There's a hook coming through.
Oh yeah, but didn't get anybody though. Although Zunba did go down. Danny frozen, taking out that Roadhog, not lasting too long. Esca just doing work on this Mei. And if you notice where Arhan is now, we saw him set up way in the back. And yeah, that's another way to handle the Roadhog. Just stay too far back for him to hook you at all. And South Korea just seems very prepared for this really unique defense on Temple of Anubis. I almost said Hanamura there for some reason.
Different assault map, but yes. And as we see with Zunba getting hooked right there, they were ready just to counterplay. They had the Blizzard up, and everybody charged in. Arhan getting so sneaky.
This is so good, man. Every single fight you want to reposition, it's paying so many dividends for Korea. He's going to run in, actually gets knocked over. He's got the configuration tank, but doesn't get to use it in time, gets taken out. And Chinese Taipei getting a couple kills themselves. It won't get them any time on the point, though.
Yeah, Miro actually playing very aggressively now, coming closer to that spot and just beating Ana into a wall. So that's going to split spawn them, but
nice hook by Danny. Gets hit hooked.
So there is a payment, a price to pay there on the backside.
Yeah, Danny going a bit deeper on that Roadhog now, chasing after the Ana. He caught a glimpse of her, can't quite get the hook there in time. South Korea having to back off to the point. Arhan still sitting on that Bastion. He's got the ultimate, so I think he probably wants to use that. Will they nano boost him though? No, they won't. Ryujehong uses that nano boost, and are they going to get anything out of it? Miro picks up one kill, Danny pops a whole hog. Arhan coming in with the configuration tank though, and with that sound barrier, he is staying nice and healthy until he dies. But Chinese Taipei actually making this one work. I thought that Bastion was going to get a few more kills, but he just couldn't seem to land them.
Yeah, he was nano boosted, but he was pretty far away from the point. So the initial nano boost on the Baby Nia managed to do more work on the side of Chinese Taipei, and they did CC the tank Bastion at the end. So no chance to pick up any further kills right there. And now they are going to successfully capture point A. We'll be on to point B with a pretty good time bank left over, 5 minutes. Definitely enough time to do some work with everybody committed, all of the ultimates to that point A fight. Arhan now swapping over to the Reaper. But
Miro ready to just leap over this wall and get into the back lines on the supports when they need him to. Arhan waiting, like you mentioned, on that Reaper now. And so, just kind of keeping Chinese Taipei at bay for the moment.
we're going to see Zonda go back onto the Reaper. We saw yesterday when they played against Finland, he was great at positioning with that Death Blossom and picking up kill after kill after kill. Danny on the Mei. So this is the sort of composition that they used to great success against Finland and brought them into a third map in that series.
Arhan going deep here. Looks like South Korea playing this defense pretty far up, actually. Arhan trying to get the kill there onto Zarya, and he's pretty low. Finally gets LazyTitan, though. It looks like it's going to work out, and Chinese Taipei has to reset, but they're building those ultimates. I mean, these first couple pushes are just kind of ult grinding pushes.
There was no momentum for Chinese Taipei, even though they got that point A in terms of ultimate economy. So it was sort of a stalemate right there. Everybody feeling each other out as they swap up their hero compositions.
And they've got time, so I don't think they're too concerned about it.
Yeah, Korea getting so close to having all 6 ultimates available. Chinese Taipei waiting on Zonda.
Yeah, that's right. Danny attacked by Miro. Now they've got the sound barrier going to the back lines, going after LazyTitan yet again as Chinese Taipei assaults the point. But Miro not even needing that primal rage. There's nothing that Zarya can do. Meanwhile, looking at the kill feed, South Korea wiping the floor with Chinese Taipei, and so far so good. And we mentioned Chinese Taipei having plenty of time left, but 2 minutes of that 5 are already gone.
Yeah, Chinese Taipei, though, the only ult they committed to that fight was Lilgho using the sound barrier, which is an important ultimate, but now they can come back with a huge ult advantage.
Yeah.
And maybe pick up some more kills right here. As long as Zonda can get the Death Blossom, there is a good target to actually use with this Nano Boost, get the Beyblade rolling in the point. And let's see if this is going to be successful or not.
Yeah, LazyTitan setting things up, getting in there. There's a Nano Boost onto the Reaper, but I believe he got slept right away. Yeah, LazyTitan coming in now. Drops the Graviton Surge. Esca will go ahead and put himself in the ice block, but Miro gets frozen as well. Zonda looking for a few more kills here on this Reaper. It's looking okay for Chinese Taipei so far. South Korea trying to find a way to turn it around, but they're going to have to give up the point for the moment. Gaining time now. South Korea is going in a little bit of a desperation mode. But Arhan pops the Death Blossom, gets a couple along with ryujehong, and it looks like they might be able to stabilize here. As Baby Nia goes down, that's going to be about it for Chinese Taipei's attack.
And Chinese Taipei committed everything to that fight. Lilgho gets his sound barrier back up, but not in time. But really, it was the sleep dart by ryujehong that started that fight, that changed everything. Chinese Taipei was a bit off the ball. LazyTitan's Zarya projected barrier was just slightly too late to block the sleep dart, so it managed to stuff the engage by the nano-boosted Reaper. Zonda not able to get in there in time. Plus, they wasted the projected barrier because it came in onto the sleeping target. So just a missed call there from Chinese Taipei, and that gives Korea a lot of room to work with.
Arhan manages to pick up Zonda. Miro being so annoying, jumping down here and then getting out just in time. And they are all over Chinese Taipei. It's probably one of the most aggressive defenses that we've seen from a team here on Temple of Anubis, but it is working wonders here as they are not letting Chinese Taipei even get a chance at this point. Miro with that primal rage, but again, he can save it. He's playing this so safely. LazyTitan kind of on his own, and
this is Miro's just
brutal, man.
So good.
Yeah.
So Korea knew that Chinese Taipei had nothing to work with there. They knew the only thing up was going to be the sound barrier. So Miro just jumps in and takes out 2 members, but most importantly that Lucio, before they can all group up and get the maximum benefit out of that ultimate. So very important picks.
Ooh,
and
I don't
now,
know about that.
yeah, this is not a good use of the nano boost.
Yeah, way too early on to Zonda. Can't get in, doesn't have the Death Blossom to pair with that. He's going to go after Arhan here, but we'll see if they can maybe punish South Korea for perhaps overextending a little bit too much. Arhan does go down. There's another kill, so Chinese Taipei actually getting some time on the point here. South Korea pushed it so far back that then they weren't ready for the counterattack, and that may cost them big time. ryujehong just buying himself some time here. Zonda actually uses the Death Blossom. He thought he could kill him fast and let them do the point. They almost got it. Esca in the ice block. Chinese Taipei trying to close the last little bit of point B off, but now you've got Zunba on the Diva, and it looks like South Korea may have been able to stabilize for the moment.
And they actually come back from that mistake where they got picked off one by one. and they get onto the point at the end, but JeHong was just hiding, crouching on the side of the point.
Yeah.
And that meant that he was able just to get on at the last second.
Wow.
The coordination was there, the swap over to D.Va to get back onto the point afterwards, but really credit to JeHong right there, who was just
saved that one.
His positioning was so good. He was crouched on the stairwell, understanding that nobody was going to be able to see him on the point, but it was also right on the corner, so all he had to do was pop up and just delay it just a hair until the Mei got in, ice block to prevent the blizzard freeze, and that was it. So Korea played with fire a little bit at the end there, but they do hold on point B in the end.
You know, I think that's the first time really we've seen Korea in this tournament, you know, maybe push a little bit too far there. I mean, yeah, they got a lot of style points yesterday versus Australia, but this time I think they learned from that map. They should have learned at least that they can't really showboat against a team like Chinese Taipei. They very, very nearly lost that second point because of it.
Yeah, and I like the push forward right after Chinese Taipei committed all those ultimates and Miro was picking off the member that they knew was the only one with an ult available for the Lucio from Lilgho.
But then you fall back.
But then, yes, the next push out was the overcommitment right there.
Yeah, then you're supposed to fall back and be happy about that, right? But South Korea taking some risk, getting nearly punished for them, but in the end, only 1 point for Chinese Taipei as we swap sides here. South Korea, the blue team on the offense on Temple of Anubis, and we'll see if Chinese Taipei can hold them to 1 point.
Yeah, and Chinese Taipei switching it up again. This time, Zonda's going to be going on to the Roadhogs, so a bit of a 3-tank setup coming in alongside a Mei, so very defensive, pick-based. This kind of composition, you need to be able to land those hooks or get the freezes coming in from the Mei or divide them off with a Mei wall, focus them down very quickly because you don't have a lot of AoE damage for the most part when you're trying to actually deal with people in choke points until you get your ultimates up and have some crowd control.
Yeah, looking at South Korea's defense right now, they're running the Tracer, they're running the Genji. I wonder if we might see a little bit of swapping from them later.
The Tracer's not very good against this just because there's no target that she can burst down. She can be annoying, but you're dependent on actually getting a Big Bang combo to efficiently deal with people.
I like this, leaving the Roadhog back to try to defend the Ana. We'll see if it works, though. That Roadhog actually has to defend the Ana. And there we go, nice hook. Yeah, and Zonda really punishes Arhan, and right away, both of those DPS getting picked off in South Korea. I think they may need to make some changes here.
Well, Arhan tried to anticipate the sleep dart coming in from the Ana. That's why he had the reflect up, but basically EDIBOSS just ignored him right there.
Oh boy.
And
wow.
That meant that Zonda could just drop down and finish him off with a hook, knowing that the reflect was on cooldown. Zunba's trying to die right here, and
I like it. They waited because they know, you know, the longer they can keep that character alive, the more they can split spawn South Korea, make it harder to make those big sort of coordinated pushes. So nice little extra thing to cost South Korea another second or two there.
Yeah, Nano Boost already up for Chinese Taipei as well, so they are in a favorable position. No swaps coming yet for Korea as they already worked most of their ults up above 50%, so we may see them do one attempt, and now the Reinhardt has been boosted.
Yeah, Nano Boost onto Baby Nya as he goes in. They try to stop South Korea with that Blizzard as well. Miro in the walls, taking a lot of damage, but taken out in the end. Chinese Taipei holds strong. Zunba, though, getting 2 on the Zarya. Looks like maybe they can grind this forward. It does take a long time to walk back if you're the defense, and TaiRong, the rest of South Korea, is starting to get a little bit of purchase here on point A. And with Zunba on that Zarya, it looks like they might finally be able to claim the first point.
Yeah, it was really Zunba there that kept them in it. At the end, Esca got some damage down, but Zunba charged up, ready to go. And Arhan got picked off very early on, but they managed to outlast Danny's Blizzard on the point.
Yeah.
And they will successfully capture with a long time to go.
Well, that was
6 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like JeHong has really been the hero of this match. Again, you know, keeping the team up during that when they lost a couple of people. Nice Maywall, preventing Zarya from getting in. Still going to go for the Topal scene anyway. And there's Esca with the Pulse Bomb. They only get 1, but it is onto Zonda. Nice to get that Roadhog out of the way. They're going to need a bit more, though. JeHong and TaiRong both claiming their bloodthirsty support kills. Meanwhile, Chinese Taipei fighting back a couple of their own, but in the end, South Korea getting a little bit of an advantage. Baby No lasting long enough to stop them from gaining too much time, but they get the first tick, see if they can get more. There's a Nano Boost now into Miro. He's got the Primal Rage as well if he wants to use it, and they're doing a good job of controlling the spawns now. This is looking pretty good for South Korea at the moment anyway.
Yeah, they're going to actually just go ahead and cap this right now, Doa.
That's close.
They've got the Primal Rage, like you said, just to knock people off of the point, so
That's the Blizzard
is
though.
going to go down. Maybe
Yeah.
they're going to be zoned off for just a little bit here.
Maybe. Chinese Taipei fighting back here. Danny's on that Mei, preventing South Korea from getting any more. Uses Ice Wall, just trying to dislodge JeHong from the top there, but he is doing so much damage, keeping his team alive. Man, JeHong has been such an MVP here, as it looks like South Korea's going to take it. Oh, they get back on the point, but no, it's not enough, and South Korea will take Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, and the problem there was that JeHong's positioning, because he was up on the high ground and off the point, sure, when you're trying to save that point B, you're going to have a lot of heroes with dashes, abilities that can get them up on the high ground, but he makes it a very tough decision, because you either have to go up there and stay off the point where they're trying to cap, or you have to stay on the point itself. So killing JeHong, not exactly easy in that scenario. And JeHong, if his teammate's on the point die, can always just drop down himself. So again, the positioning from JeHong, very good. Got a lot of damage and healing down, and there was not really any counterplay that Chinese Taipei had as long as that point was ticking.
Yeah, that's right. We know how good he is on that Ana, and it really did show. And, TaiRong, despite not being, maybe a top-level pro in the game, certainly playing that Lucio well enough to help carry them as well. So looks like we're going to have a little bit of a conversation with Zonda, see what he has to say about their upcoming matches.
我叫吕仲达，我的游戏 ID 叫做 Zonda， 然后我在游戏里面的位置是输出手。我有很多现场和线下经验，所以这种比赛我是不会太紧张。我的游戏风格是比较激进、比较偏侵略型的，然后比较喜欢做出那种1杀多的操作，然后有很多很厉害的选手会想要去超越。
All right, well, Zonda certainly instrumental in helping Chinese Taipei at least look competitive there on Temple of Anubis. And, if they're going to have a chance to tie up this series as we go towards Aichenwald, it's going to definitely be on his shoulders, I think.
Yeah, I do think we saw some good stuff there from Chinese Taipei. I'm glad that we saw more depth in their team composition than we did in their match yesterday versus Finland, with Zonda really showing off his hero pool, bringing out the McCree, bringing out the Roadhog. But some of their coordination, I think, needs a little bit of work. We didn't see the most efficient use of ultimates.
Yeah. And it seemed like, too, at times they just weren't ready for the aggression that South Korea was going to bring, especially when they were when South Korea was defending point B on the last map. And, yeah, they did go a little bit too far, but, man, Chinese Taipei had trouble even getting set up to push in the first place.
I think why it's so fun to watch Miro on that Winston is because he knows his limits so well. He knows when he can select a target and go in, pick that target off, and then escape back with another jump towards his team. And we really saw it when we were watching from his perspective, his skill on Winston, his ability to place the barrier perfectly to ignore all damage, to play with that wall.
And check this out.
Okay.
All right. It's a real strategy then. Maybe TaiRong was serious, because they are actually going with the same thing they use against Australia, the Torbjorn, the Symmetra. I talked to TaiRong a lot yesterday, and he really believes in this, and I was convinced he was trolling me, because, look at this comp. How can you look at this comp and not think you're being trolled? But they're running against Chinese Taipei here, so we'll see if it works out.
Yeah, same setup, same placement for the Torbjorn turret.
Although they aren't running the Junkrat this time. That is a big difference, and I think that does make a big difference in terms of the amount of zone control you get out of this defense. So I wonder if that's going to have an impact and how well this is going to work or not.
I think that they may be anticipating a Tracer, in which case the McCree is a lot better, and there's Miro going to get slapped immediately.
Sleep dart immediately. Wasn't expecting EDIBOSS to come in from behind with that Ana, and they're going to lose their tank.
He was on a really cheesy flank there, Doa.
I agree,
So he was trying to get an instant kill, but got found out, but that is a huge number of kills as they walk through the Symmetra turrets.
Man, I was going to say, they just walked into the meat grinder there, and Esca popping off the headshots to finish a lot of the members of Chinese Taipei. That was brutal, and look at that right off the bat. TaiRong getting so much charge, he can put down the teleporter right away.
Okay, well,
that's big.
They certainly were not ready for that. They caught the Reinhardt out on the flank too far forward. Of course, Miro would normally be standing in the position he is now, or up on top of the bridge. Not in a building, trying to hide, but
I don't know what that was, but he was just a distraction. He was just there to make the Chinese Taipei team seem overconfident, I guess.
Here's the thing, is that even though he died, what happened next was because he died, basically Chinese Taipei as a team charged forward because they thought they had a 6v5 and they walked into all of the Symmetra turrets. So maybe it was a bait, Doa. Maybe it was a
part of the plan. I wouldn't put it past him, you know, as we see in the lower right, Chinese Taipei trying to set back up again on the main screen. Of course, South Korea with that defense. Esca sitting behind that Reinhardt shield, poking away at Baby Nai's position. And here comes the Dragon Strike, not catching anybody though. Chinese Taipei just trying to clear room to go through. Esca coming from behind though with that Deadeye, not finding anybody quite yet with it though. And kills coming in on both sides. They've lost Zunba, they lost TaiRong and that Symmetra. Oh, nice flash bang in the end for the trade on the Hanzo. And Miro taken out. Looks like this might be Chinese Taipei's opportunity here. Graviton Surge comes in, no real follow-up. And the teleporter lives. That could be big.
That's the thing, is the teleporter's still alive, Doa, so they're just going to file back in as quick can be here.
Wow. All right, I'm a believer. You know, I love Symmetra just because I think she's fun to play, but I'm starting to believe in this. South Korea is really making this Symmetra work, man.
Are you starting to believe in the nano-boosted Symmetra? That's going to be the real question.
You know, I don't know if you want to do that in this situation.
No, you don't. You use this for Genji, right? So he can't reflect. But here's one thing that Arhan, if he actually gets... Okay, we'll wait for a second as they break it down.
They're going to try to get that combo with the Dragon Strike. Don't get anyone with it again. That's 2 Dragon Strikes with Zonda, but no kills. LazyTitan does manage to pick up the turret, though, that Arhan put down. Miro, though, with the return kill on that Zarya. Zonda sneaking around the outside, maybe trying to get a bit of time on the point as it is, but no.
I think he's looking for the teleporter right now.
Yeah, he's got to be. Yep. But it's a good hiding place. It's actually right next to the point. There it is. Just got used. They actually got full use of that. Oh, but he picks off Arhan right away on that Torbjorn Zonda. Yeah, with one on TaiRong as well. But now here's, I think, where you may be considered switching off of the Symmetra. You've lost that teleporter. You've only got 9% ult charge to bring it back up again. Yeah, right back to the Lucio. I think that's what you got to do now.
I think that's absolutely true, Doa, particularly because there's only 45 seconds left. So get the Lucio in. Try and build up your sound barrier so you can contest during overtime.
This is tense though. Earthshatter comes in. Arhan setting up the turret, trying to bring it up to level 2. Oh, but he gets slapped right before he can use his ultimate. That could be big. And Chinese Taipei coming in with a lot of kills here. I think South Korea's going to have to give up this payload.
He's going to try and get that Molten Core in, Doa, but he will fall in the end. And that was one of those times where you actually want to preemptively Molten Core just so you can build the turret up faster. So I think that's a bit of a mistake there from Arhan on the Torbjorn. It will allow the point capture by Chinese Taipei. And then we're going to see the switch over to the Genji. So nice final push there. Zonda having a big part of that, getting some crucial pickoffs.
You know, it was so close. They brought that down to about 30 seconds until the match would have been over. So, you know, even though they didn't hold all the way, it still worked quite nicely. LazyTitan comes in. He gets caught in the Tobelstein over from South Korea. That Graviton Surge bringing in a couple kills, but the kills come in for Chinese Taipei with the return Graviton Surge from the other side, and they're going to keep that payload going.
Well, they had just swapped up, so they didn't have really any ult economy, Korea, and Arhan got stuck in that Graviton Surge and then frozen by Danny. So easy pickoff onto the Genji. That's going to buy them quite a bit of leeway here to push the payload forward, and we're going to see a high ground push coming up here from Korea. They're going to try and drop down and defend. Esca looking for the flank Deadeye.
I think he's looking for the jump down from behind type of Deadeye. I like the change from Zonda over to the McCree. He noticed the Genji, immediately went from the Tracer to the McCree to try to have that flashbang available. And we'll see how South Korea defends here on the bridge here. Esca going down though, Zonda coming in from behind, and now they know that McCree's up for Chinese Taipei. Sound barrier used on the red team side. Sound barrier now coming in for South Korea as they try to defend, but they've lost a lot of people already. Danny's been pretty effective here on this Mei as well, just getting the walls in and preventing the damage from coming towards his team, and they're almost all the way through point B.
Yeah, Esca was really trying to find the Ana there so that he could shut down the nano boost, but instead, good communication from Chinese Taipei. They call out to his position to Zonda. Zonda just comes up and gets the 1v1 flank, so it really eliminates a lot of the damage coming in from Korea. There's going to be an attempt here on this point to actually hold before point number 2. Now, this is incredibly risky to do on Aichenwald.
Well, they hold. They managed to get it for the moment. And there's only 45 seconds left. And you're right. It is super risky, but they've got a chance.
It makes me so nervous whenever I see that, Doa, because when you commit a lot to that defense, if you fail, you can push through the most difficult part of this map as an offense. So you're basically hamstringing yourself if you fail as a defense, if you're trying to contest right at the end of point number 2. Ends up working out, and now Arhan just skirmishing on the outside, and he does not reflect.
Whoa, all right.
But
time to fly. Esca with the Deadeye now, and we'll see if he can pick anything up. Oh, he does get EDIBOSS. Actually, I believe he got 2 with that before the Sleep Dart came in. I think that was a bit brave of EDIBOSS to try to go for that while the Deadeye was channeling. Meanwhile, LazyTitan taken down. Graviton Surge comes in. South Korea, they may be able to defend it. There's the overtime. I think they've got it. South Korea, oh wow, actually Zonda switching back over to the Tracer. Can he keep it going long enough for his team to get there? They're all streaming in. There's Danny, throws down the wall, gets a bit low on the outside, and he's going to stay alive with the ice block. They're really kind of coming in one by one, but overtime is still ticking. There's the Earth Shatter. And I don't think that's going to be enough. Overtime's going to go away faster and faster here. There's the Graviton Surge yet again just to take out the opposing Zarya. A punch to the face of EDIBOSS, and that will be it. South Korea will limit Chinese Taipei to just 1 point here on Eichenwald.
Yeah, well, great hold at the end. Again, a bit risky. That could have been if South Korea had messed up on the defense, it could have been a straight push through to the 3rd point for Chinese Taipei.
Yeah.
But as it is, it's relatively easy to push through point number 2 as offense, so South Korea has a lot to work with here. They pull out the Symmetra again, they pull out the Torbjorn again. Just barely can't hold that 1st point, and Chinese Taipei manages to get a good push all the way nearly to point number 2 after that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're seeing what we expected out of this match, right? As we take a look at some of Esca's stats on McCree here, really playing in awesome McCree as usual, no surprise there. But we expected South Korea to come into this with an edge, but we also expected Chinese Taipei to at least give South Korea a bit of a challenge, and they certainly are doing that so far.
Yeah, that's certainly the expectation as we head into the other side of Eichenwald now. So South Korea going to be running with Arhan on the Genji potentially, and nothing too surprising coming out of Chinese Taipei, going a little bit tank heavy, triple tank, but when you have that 1st point defense, if you can hold the archway with the Reinhardt and the Mei, you can just force them into some smaller chokes to come through around the sides.
Yeah. Well, looks like Chinese Taipei setting up with a triple tank defense again. No reliance on the Roadhog this time, though, as they are going with Zarya Winston and the Reinhardt, but we'll see. I'm curious to see if Zunba is going to stick on that Widowmaker.
He's going to play
Zarya. Yeah.
He will most likely play Zarya right here.
You never know. I mean, you can maybe do a surprise Widowmaker on this map and try to just walk in behind the Reinhardt. Nope, there's a Zarya switch. Well, a man can dream.
I just don't think the sight lines are really there for a Widowmaker on this 1st point. When you have so many flanking options, having very rapid backline flankers like Tracer and Genji typically are better for this 1st point.
Yeah. All right, here we go. South Korea trying to push forward. Zonda up on the high ground there. Esca just firing some bullets and take down that shield quickly. And Chinese Taipei just doing everything they can to delay this push from South Korea. As they come through, nice kill onto LazyTitan. Esca already doing work. They've got a couple, and they are just going to bulldoze their way forward. Zunba with 2 on that Zarya already. Danny on his own in the back. Everybody just getting forced right out of the area, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty quick point A take for South Korea.
Yeah, Chinese Taipei doesn't really have an answer to Esca's McCree. There wasn't really any hero that they were using that could actually get damage back onto him, so it's a bit of a shooting gallery for Esca right there.
Yeah.
They just waited for the Mei wall cooldown to be down, and the tanks opened up, played very aggressively in the front, so Esca had a huge amount of room to move. Now we're seeing Zonda switch over to the McCree, and we will see those McCree on McCree duels again, trying to control the high ground, at least for now.
Yep. Generally what you have to do is the defense on this map, but it's tough against a Genji like Arhan. I hear a nano boost being used somewhere. Chinese Taipei trying to give themselves some sort of advantage. They go ahead and put it down on the Baby Na as he goes in with the Reinhardt. Arhan biding his time though. He's got that Dragon Blade ready, and now he's going to go after it. Watch out with the flashbangs right there. Oh, that was so close, man. He's a little bit lucky that he didn't die to the fan the hammer. Meanwhile, the rest of his team pushing that payload forward. Danny forced to ice block there as he backs off onto the bridge already. So Chinese Taipei did okay on offense, but they are giving ground very quickly on the defense.
Even though that push was successful, Doa, I do question that Dragon Blade usage just a little bit onto Zonda. He wasn't close to getting the Deadeye up. Also, Arhan known for his Genji play, but I feel like his reflex today have been really off. when we've been watching him in the first person. He's just not playing the mind games properly, and his reflexes aren't there to block some crucial abilities.
That's a bit awkward. They're going to drop the Graviton Surge on the outside, though. Esca grabs a couple with his own Deadeye in South Korea. You know, awkward Genji play or not, they are certainly having no trouble at all bulldozing their way through Chinese Taipei, and they are almost done with this map and this series. If they can push it to that yellow square, that's going to be a 2-0. Esco's got the nano boost now, gets the headshots onto LazyTitan, has to worry about this Ana now. I don't think it's going to be a big problem. There's the kill for Zunba again, and Chinese Taipei with a bit of desperation as they try to stop South Korea from getting that last tiny bit, but they can't do it. And South Korea grabs the 2-0. And, you know, I mean, that's what we expected. Chinese Taipei certainly putting up a bit of a fight, giving them a bit of a challenge, but in the end, not seemingly able to stop Korea too much.